this World Series Game 5 picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code MLB SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Wednesday, October the 29th. We are here to handicap the World Series Game 5, which gets underway at 8 p.m. Eastern this evening. Joining me today, haven't spoken to him for a few days, nice to have him back, is Mr. Lonte Smith. Lonte, good afternoon. How are you? Or morning,
man,
whatever you are.
Yeah, well, it's afternoon here. Yeah, man, doing pretty good, man. There was some good action. I mean, as a, I know we both have Dodgers tickets, but kind of as a fan of the game, I'm kind of rooting for like 7 games. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy with the result. But yeah, man, it was some good action going back and forth. I know we haven't talked in a while, but yeah, I mean, it's good action. I mean, Blue Jays, I know we're gonna get into it, but shout out to them for showing up in a big way. So
Yeah, well, one of my notes for when we get to talk about the game is just how the Blue Jays have been able to bounce back, because they looked a little bit toast against Seattle, didn't they? 2-0 down, and they'd lost 2 home games. And then I was broken yesterday. Me and Dylan, everyone was in a daze yesterday after watching that game. Even there was quite a few people in the chat, and everyone has like just got a little bit crazy, like having watched that absolute madness. We haven't spoke about that. Obviously, it's still fresh in the memory. How did you consume that game on Monday night, Lunty?
So what happened was, like, I was looking at it and I'm like, man, I'm going to bed. I had to get up super early. I went to bed, and so I went to bed in the 11th inning. The 11th inning I saw,
Okay.
I was like, I'll just roll over and check my phone and see who won. But I did have Freddie Freeman home run, so that came through.
Oh, what a win! That's brilliant.
Only took 18 innings to get it through, but yeah, I mean, you talked about it. I thought Toronto. I mean, I think going into the series, I think we all were kind of in this type of like handicap as like Toronto has the offense to contend with the Dodgers. Like they have the bats to which, I mean, even without George Springer, they did a really good job of getting on base, timely hits. So, I mean, I'm not really surprised at the result. They've been resilient all year, especially in the postseason. You talked about it being down 0-2 to Seattle, and they bounced back in this series. I mean, in a game where they go 18 innings and you lose in that fashion, to be able to come back, you got some decent starts from Bieber. Early on, I thought Bieber was going to be in trouble, but he kind of settled down, and Ohtani kind of cracked before Bieber did. So credit to the Blue Jays, man. They are playing at a high level. I really enjoy their manager and how he kind of talks in those sideline interviews, and kind of like what he's seeing and different things. So yeah, man, it's going to be a good series. I mean, we got at least 2 more games, but I mean, personally, I think we're going to go 7.
So it sounds like you went to bed around about the same time I got out of bed, because I thought I was doing the opposite. I thought I need to watch this. This sounds insane. So I got out of bed. I think it was the 13th inning, maybe I got out of bed. But yeah, it was just fucking insane. And I've watched the highlights back again yesterday. And there's so much happening. You can't even keep up, even if you watch the highlights, the stuff that you see the second, third time, the base running and all those crazy plays. So Adam was first in the chat. Adam Awesome says, let's go Blue Jays. Joe Neuenfeld is here. Captain Sano. Aye, Captain. TVDBJ, Bear Commander. Joseph, who was here yesterday too. Joseph, welcome along. And Jason, I've just been seeing some of Jason's winners on X. He's been posting that he's been in decent form on X, so that's nice to know. Yeah, it was slightly lower key yesterday, which I think it had to be. I think everyone kind of expected it to be a little bit more subdued. It all turned on there wasn't much in it at all. 4-run 7th inning for the Blue Jays. We saw the Dodgers bullpen vulnerability really for the first time, because that had been forecast as a problem. That was one of the things when we were weighing up all the different facets of the game against each other. The Blue Jays' weakness, the main weakness, was going to be the bullpen. And what they'd largely done was eliminate it in many of the games by not needing it. So we did see that last night. Picks-wise, did okay. We talked a lot about the pitcher outs after the chaos of the night before. And I came to the conclusion I couldn't work it out. It wasn't for me. Everyone had conflicting opinions in the chat, which was kind of just a barometer of where everyone was feeling. I'm not sure everyone had kind of, as on whole, come down from that game. So opinions were absolutely all over the place. Both went over, as it happens. But kind of just. So I think I was quite pleased I left that alone. I think I went 4 out of 5 looking back. The under hit, the first 5 under, 4.5 runs hit. The Nerfy, the DGen special hit. We thought the batters might just take a little bit of warming up. Addison Barger over half a single was a great bet. That was my favourite bet of the night, plus 165. That was a nice bet. My loser, I put a couple of Will Smith props out. And in hindsight, having just caught 18 innings the night before, it was a fucking stupid pick. I don't really know what I was thinking. Like I said, because there was so much going on, that was kind of an oversight. And how his legs weren't falling off, I don't know. So that was a genuinely bad pick. I think D-Rock did okay as well. So, yeah, there was definitely some winners in there. Don't forget to get all our podcasts, MLB, NBA, NFL, college football, NHL. I recorded the notorious OTB yesterday with Chase for the Breeders' Cup for the weekend. So if you're looking to play some ponies over the weekend, wherever you get your podcasts is the place to do that. So like me and Dylan did yesterday, really, was what does Game 4 mean for Game 5? The Blue Jays' ability to bounce back, that was the first note, because they've demonstrated it time and again, and it's impressive. Vladdy is playing this series like his hair's on fire. Like he's absolutely just wild-eyed and determined, and you've got to love that hustle that Vladdy's put in. And he's done it with the bat. He's done it on the base paths. He's done it in the field. He's assumed this real mantle of leadership, Vladdy. Ohtani with the bat, what the Blue Jays, I think everyone thought maybe the Blue Jays would just walk him forever. However, he's not as good with the bat on the daisy pitches. I know he had that mad game against the Brewers recently. But all season long, when he's been pitching, he hasn't been as good with the bat. So the Blue Jays did pitch to him, and they got him. He grounded out one sand. I can't remember what else he did. But he wasn't sort of impeccable. So that dynamic will be back in the game or not, whether Ohtani can switch it back on again. Now he's not pitching. The rest of the Dodgers lineup, Mookie Betts, Lonte, I want to talk about, because they kept getting to him by walking show here. And then he's not really done it. He's 5 for 34. Yeah. In 5 for his last 34, Mookie. And every time he comes up, I'm not really expecting him to do much. I don't know what it is. There's just, there's something like when Vladdy comes up, you're leaning forward. You think, right, this is going to be good. When Mookie comes up, I'm like, maybe not. I mean, Andy Pius, I noticed, hitting 0.8, hitting 80 in the playoffs. I don't know if he'll play tonight. The manager seems to think he might put Alex Cole in. So there's a possible play in there. But, yeah, I mean, going forward from last night into Game 5, what do you take out of what we've seen in the last 2 nights and that you could put into Game 5 when you're handicapping it?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question, because Scott generally asked that. I think he posed the question like, is everything its own separate game, or do you believe in momentum? To me, in baseball, I don't believe in momentum at all. And look at this series. This series is a perfect example of that. after each game, you would think that, okay, well, this team kind of has it figured out, or this team is probably going to fold, because the way that Toronto lost last game, and I know that the bullpen is an issue for the Dodgers, but you had Shohei going, and you're going to expect him to kind of eat up those innings. That would be advantage Dodgers. To me, that would be advantage Dodgers. I mean, Shane Bieber has been pitching okay, but again, he hasn't pitched against this level of offense. And, while he's been good, he still has some stuff that he's working on. I mean, he's coming back from Tommy John surgery, and he hasn't had the requisite amount of innings pitched to kind of where we can have data on him going forward. So, I mean, I thought that was a big question. I thought that was a big advantage for the Dodgers, but obviously that didn't work out. I mean, we saw, Vladdy's pretty much like, it's looking like a beach ball when Vladdy's hitting the ball right now. Like, that's what he's seeing. He's really good. And for them to do it without Springer, who's, notoriously one of the best postseason hitters and one of their best hitters in the lineup, especially at the top of that lineup. I mean, I can understand replacing a guy at the bottom, in the middle towards the bottom, but like, that's your tone setter. Like, George Springer, he hits the ball well, he gets on base, he sets things up for Vladdy and all those guys behind him. So that was really impressive. But from a game-to-game basis, I don't think anything translates over to me. I mean, especially in this series, I don't think anything translates over. I think each game is its own individual, painting, and we're going to get a totally different painting tonight in Game 5. So that's how I look at it. I mean, I know everybody kind of looks at it differently. I mean, but we still have, like, if you're looking at it, we still have the same questions, like, about that we had from Game 1 as we do in Game 5. Like, can Toronto's pitching be sustained? Can the Dodgers bullpen, be at least serviceable? If they can't be serviceable, can the starters go, decent amount of length to where that shrinks that, that exposure to them? So, like, all these questions are similar. Like, we had those same questions in Game 1. We had probably had those same questions going into the first round of the playoffs. So, like, each thing is individual. I look at it individual. But I do think that Toronto, like, the one thing that I've said throughout, even though I picked the Dodgers to win it, Toronto has the offense to win. Like, they have the offense to compete. They can score runs. And Scott asked the question, like, what number would you feel comfortable with taking? Like, if you told me that Toronto won, like, what number would you have to get to? And I think everybody said 5. I mean, and they got to 6. So, I mean, that they got the recipe to win. It's just that, can they get that pitching to, like, sustain? And you talked about Mookie. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I've been losing money on Mookie, to be honest. Like, I probably I've been betting his total bases, like, home run. Like, he's just, I don't know. I mean, it's not really, maybe it's a confidence thing, but he doesn't come off as kind of a low confidence guy. I mean, it's not like he's just up there, swinging at anything. Like, he's got quality ABs. He's just not producing. So maybe he breaks out of it. I think that would make the offense a little bit better going down, like, from Mookie. So, and that also allows, like you said, it allows you, like, to think twice about walking Ohtani whenever he's actually hitting the ball. But now you can say, hey, oh, well, we'll just walk him. Mookie's not doing anything, so we got basically a free out. So that kind of dictates how the offense goes. So, I mean, that's a long way. That's a long-winded way of answering a question, saying, like, no, I don't think that.
It really is.
I don't think all these games are, like, translating to one of those. That's a long-winded answer.
Anyone listening on times 30 later on, the answer to that question was no from Lonte. That made me giggle, Lonte. Brian's joined us in the chat. Brian Sanders with his Green Bay avatar there. Welcome along, Brian. Nice to have you. The Blue Jays' ability to, like, go swim against the tide of the momentum has been a thing. Even back to the Yankee series, I feel like I've struggled with the Blue Jays a lot because everyone has a certain way of handicapping the games, and a lot of mine is use what's been working for you or what's been working for a certain team. And the Blue Jays have zigged and zagged, like, against the current nearly the whole time for a couple of series. Little bit of a bullpen reset as well for both teams. The Blue Jays used a few more key arms last night. They didn't use Hoffman. So it kind of balances out just a little bit. We'll get into this Game 5 then with lines and etc. Let me tell you about mybookie.ag. It's your place to bet on football and everything else. The motto is bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. Head to mybookie.ag. Promo code is SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN, And Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. You get the best prices, 35 states available. Download the Novig app, get $50 when you spend $5. Use the promo code SGPN. Get on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Okay. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Toronto Blue Jays at the LA Dodgers. The Blue Jays will throw Trey Savage. The Dodgers throw left-handed pitcher Blake Snell. -208 the Dodgers, +170 the Blue Jays. The total sits at 8. Straight outrights, I immediately left alone because I've got two conflicting opinions. I think the Dodgers have the pitching advantage. They've got home advantage, obviously. We're going to use that word. Blue Jays did wrestle momentum back last night, and they're guaranteed at least one more home game. But teams that we've seen of this equal, really, or both teams have demonstrated this ability just to go off, then +170, Trev's saying in the chat, +170 seems insane. We saw it last night. What price were they last night? +1, I've got it here. +165? No. +170, yeah, they were +170 again last night. And they won that game relatively comfortably. They had it, they went in their control for a lot. So those two things kind of offset. I've really struggled getting your Savage right because the couple of times I've tried to fade him in what looked to me like vulnerable spots for him, I've just been wrong. I'm expecting a similar performance to his game one start. He pitched game one of this series. 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Has walked 3 batters in his last 3 playoff starts. The over 2.5 walks is +110. So there's an angle there for your Savage. Snell was got to very much by the Blue Jays that day, the same day. 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 walks, and 5 earned runs. We talked yesterday about the Blue Jays' aggressive batting approach. They're not going to change it. It's worked for them. Swing early, swing often. We see them all. I mean, Kirk, Vladdy, they all just go after the first pitch. And if they put it down the pipe, it's going to be trouble. We know Snell nibbles around the edge. You've got to take out that insane game the other night. But the Blue Jays hits, over 7.5 hits, I thought for Toronto was a nice price at +110. They've covered it 3 out of 4. Obviously, the mad one, because it was effectively 2 games, was bound to cover. So I do think the Dodgers are the favourites and most likely winners. The pitching advantage to me is significant, but -208 is too short. 8 runs looks too low for these two offenses, is what I'd say. There's question marks over both pitchers. There's question marks over both pens in terms of we don't really know where they stand. 8 looks too low because either team is absolutely capable of going off. And they don't even have to go off to reach 8 either, by the way. So I'll take the over. I'll leave the side. And that Blue Jays over 7.5 hits, Lonte, would be my play out of the main markets at +110.
Yeah, so we probably handicap this way different, especially I see some guys in the chat saying the same thing. So I think Snell will go well. If you look at his game log, like this is the first time he's pitching at home since September 30th. So he hasn't pitched at home in his last 3 outings. So him being at home, being more comfortable, I think that's going to bode well on top of him not performing well in Toronto in game 1. So I think that Snell goes extremely well. Like I said, we know the advantage the disadvantage for the Dodgers is their bullpen. So Snell's going to have to go distance. Yesovich, I like him. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm worried about his length. Like he's been 5'4", or 5 1/3, 5 2/3, 4 2/3. So like, where does that kind of cut off? And he's pitched well. You talked about the walk issues. I'm worried about that. This is a pivotal game. Obviously, I think Game 5s in any sport is one of the biggest games, especially when it's tied 2-2. I think that's one of the biggest games in the series. Obviously, Game 7 being the biggest, but Game 5 is pivotal. And I think this is a high pressure spot. We saw Yesovich, he's been pitching, in these spots and pitched well. So I think he'll be accustomed to it. But I do think the top of the lineup, I think Mookie is more consistent. I think Freddie is a little bit more consistent. I do think that they get some timely hits because they've been hitting the ball, but it's just like whenever they need to. Like they had runners on the corners, I think, with one out, and they couldn't get the runner across, which could have pushed that lead to like 3-0, if I'm not mistaken. And so they've been getting hits, but just not timely hits. And I think if Yesevich has like a couple of walks here and there, confidence could be wavering. And Blake's still on the other side. I mean, we've seen what he's able to do in these type of games. Obviously, him not performing well in his last start in game 1, I think that's probably been weighing on him a little bit. So I think he comes out and perform well. I'm going to take Blake Snell to record the win. You can get that at plus money.
Nice.
But
I looked at that, Lonte.
Yeah, but I like under though. I like under because how I handicap the game is I think Blake Snell will go well. I think the Dodgers will score just enough. I don't think Trey will like blow up, but I think he'll have a shaky outing, maybe a couple of walks early on. They'll get a base hit to score 1 or 2 runs, and then he kind of like wears down a little bit more there. So I'm looking at like a 4-1 type of Dodgers win. I think Snell gets really close to pitching like 8 innings, 7 2/3, 8 innings in this specific spot. So Snell to record the win, and then I like under.
I'm going to change subject a minute. Is that not a Green Bay logo? I'm getting some pelters here. Joe's calling me out.
He said it's Georgia, but he took it from the Green Bay.
It's what, sorry?
He said it's Georgia.
Oh, okay.
But he took it
Georgia Bulldogs.
He took it from.
Mate, I've been trying to learn. I was watching some shit on the SEC last night, so I know some stuff about the Gators. Don't ask me what stuff, because I can't remember. But I can say the word Gators. That's a thing. What else can I say? Woodcocks. Obviously, that's funny because it's got the word cock in it, so I enjoyed that. So, yeah, I'm an SEC guy, Lonte. So come back in 12 months, yeah, and I'll be dominating all of that as well. I'll definitely know what that G stands for. What we doing? Underdog, your home for pick'em entries went up to 5,000 times your money. That's a lot. Brand new offer. Play $5, get 100 in bonus funds. MLB SGPN. And Rhythm crushing it in the SEC. They've probably got the Gators this week. NFL and the NBA. Rhythm giving away weekly cash prizes for climbing the ladder on the leaderboard. Promo code is SGPN25. Download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm. Use promo code SGPN25. A couple of little props to add here. I took this pick with Scott in the Dodgers-Reds first playoff game of the series, I think it was. And it cashed, and I still don't know if it's a good pick or not. It's the most singles, Dodgers at plus 145. And I think, so the Dodgers are minus 120 for the most hits. Obviously, they're then projected to get more doubles and homers, etc., which leaves them a big price in this singles market. This might actually fall a little bit more into your handicap if you think this is just going to be a little bit tighter and the Dodgers are maybe going to pick them off by 2 or 3 runs rather than smash the daylight out of them. So Dodgers most singles, I think it's a 3-way market. You've got the tie in there as well. That's plus 145. It just looks too big. I backed it once and it won. So I'm not sort of put off backing it again. So we'll roll with it. I did take Addison Barger over half a single last night. Now, I can't find a price tonight. He was plus 165 last night. Had hit. I think it was 4 out of 5. Now he's gone 5 out of 6. Plus 165. There's no point getting away from that. Someone earlier on mentioned Alejandro Kirk's numbers against Blake Snell. And I've got Kirk factored in. But I've got him for over half a walk, which kind of correlates a little bit. If Snell thinks he might hit him, he might just keep it away. He's walked 4 times in his last 5 games. Snell is not averse to a walk, as we've just mentioned. So over half a walk for Alejandro Kirk is plus 175. I've got a home run play, but I'll give that out in a minute, Lonte. Do you have any player props that you like?
Yeah, I was looking at, I know you can get no home run for the whole game, but I was looking at no home run for Toronto. I think that'll be a good price because I think that Blake Snell will kind of keep the ball in the yard. And obviously, I think he goes well, so it kind of bodes into my handicap. I didn't see a price on it, but I think you can find, one team to not hit a home run out there somewhere. I didn't have enough time to look and find a price, but I do think that's worth something. Excuse me. I think that Kike Hernandez has been really clutch. I like his total bases over. And you talked about Kirk. I really do think that Kirk has a good game. He's actually been kept calling a good game behind the plate.
Yeah.
He threw like 3 guys out. I mean, he's been really good. And I like the walk angle. Do you see what Vladdy is to walk?
Let's have a look. Props. My books.
Because I'm interested in that because not because that they'll intentionally walk him, but I think Snell will kind of try to pitch around him in certain spots.
Right, hang on then.
Yeah, if it's not too bad, I would look at that as well. I just think the later that you get in the game, and I perceive it to be tight, I think they'll probably end up walking him in some capacity.
Even money, over half.
I love that, actually.
Yeah,
I love that. I absolutely love that. And yeah, I got a home run pick for you too. So I'll let you go first.
I've gone 4, although it's kind of counterintuitive. But Dalton Varsho, just form. I think he's had one off Snell early in that game one. Varsho got one in that game. Should we go plus 650 for a little bit of muscle memory for Dalton Varsho, Lonte?
A guy that I'm on a guy who has, Scott's not been the biggest fan. I think Scott's been taking his under, but I'm gonna go with Teoscar. He had a really good game in game 3, hitting the home run, obviously getting off the snide. He was 1 of 3 last game. I think he's kind of trending up in a different direction. So I like Teoscar to hit a bomb tomorrow.
Do you think you could do a better job in right field than Teoscar?
No, I absolutely cannot.
Oh, mate, what a letdown. I definitely could.
I cannot.
Beautiful. Well, cheeky half an hour. That was the plan. You might detect I've got a little spring in my step. Yeah, I'll tell you why. I'm going to the pub, Lonte. It's Wednesday night, and I'm going to the pub. Newcastle are playing tonight in the cup. I'm giving my friends' children my tickets, so me and my mate are going to sit in the pub outside the stadium while they're in the ground. So yeah, going to have 4 or 5 pints tonight and watch Newcastle stuff Tottenham. Yeah, thanks, Lonte. That was fun. The chat was late, as you young people would say as well. I enjoyed all of that. Thank you, everybody who joined us. Good luck with your picks tonight. Enjoy the baseball. We're definitely going to game 6, so keep your eyes peeled on, what day is that? Friday? Yeah, Friday. Friday afternoon, there'll be a game 6 preview with certain members of the team here. Good luck with your bets. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you all.